Inside the wall. We were in the garden with the princess, and the voice had entered the garden. It is late evening, or maybe early morning. The princess has been sleeping. The princess does not know for how long she was asleep, and she does not know if the voice she heard was in her dreams. She does not know if the voice was in her head, if it was her own voice, and she does not know if what the voice told her was something she already knew. But she has returned to the garden in the half-light of late evening or early morning, a time when the sun has fallen or not yet risen, a time between suns, when the garden is bathed in underwater light, unreal and dim. It is a time of the day when the heads of the flowers she loves are heavy and dull, when the paths she knows are hard and unceasing, when the trees, normally fine and strong and trustworthy, hang in the air like phantoms, when the fountain is still. And the princess comes like a ghost, barefoot, her long white gown trailing, her hair loose, a frown as heavy as iron weighting her face. Because she has never before noticed, as she notices now, that the stems of her flowers are of a dull green plastic, and their petals are stiff painted paper, punched together with staples. And now she stoops and sees the path upon which she comes is curled at its edge like a cheap carpet, and as she fingers it, dry earth appears beneath. The princess approaches a tree, but the tree is only cardboard, and the colours of its bark are thin and idle. Through it she can read labels, symbols, smudged print. And the fountain is silent, and from its dry bowl a dirty green cable coils across the lawns of the garden, through bushes and flower beds, snaking away to a chipped socket set wonky into the wall. The princess slumps onto her favourite bench, seeing for the first time how its paint is bubbled and flaking, and how beneath the paint the wood of the seat is tired and damp. She leans forward, her cheeks crushed into the palms of her hands, and she stares at everything and at nothing. And in the deepness of her staring, perhaps the princess is asleep again, and in the deepness of her sleep does she hear a rustling in the grass. And she remembers a voice from far away, a voice which told her of a world outside the wall, where a beautiful princess lived among beautiful flowers and paths, among trustworthy trees, and where a fountain bubbled handsomely. But was that voice a dream? And is she now dreaming a dream in which a rustling in the grass emerges as a voice and is seated beside her and is whispering a soft, subtle music? You shall not surely die. The sun appears suddenly from behind the wall. Fragments of warmth wash through the garden. They sip at the flowers, slip along the garden's curling paths, climb trees, leap at the fountain. And again she hears a soft voice. Your eyes shall be opened. The princess opens her eyes. It is the bright of the morning, and her garden is immaculate. The flowers stand tall in their beds, each one dripping with colour and perfume. Throughout the garden, paths curl happily and clean. The trees are full and strong, and the fountain bubbles contentedly. And beside the princess sits a snake, hissing a soft music. It says, "Did you wake or did you dream? Are you awake now or are you dreaming? Princess, are you certain this is real?" The princess is startled. "What are you? Where did you come from?" "Princess," hisses the snake, "I think you know where I am from." The princess is angry with the snake. She does not like his games. She does not enjoy her confusion. She stands, and she wants to run away, but although she is standing, she is unable to run. She stands, and she wills her legs to move, but her legs will not move. She stands, unable to move, as if in a bad dream. And like in a bad dream, she feels a tight horror begin to sink across her chest. And as the princess stands, unable to move her legs, the beautiful garden begins to fade into whiteness. The flowers fade away, as do the curling paths. The trees turn into tissue snowflakes of leaf and bark, then fade into whiteness. The fountain dries up, grows pale, fades to white. Even the bench fades. The princess stands against an empty white background, a single figure upon a blank white page, except for the snake. It is terrible. And the snake is speaking again. It says, "If you do not like this, princess, you can change it." The princess frowns, and the page fades into grey. "Princess," says the snake, "smile for me." Still the princess frowns. The page fades to a darker grey. "One smile," says the snake. "Try it." Slowly, carefully, the princess relaxes her face. She smiles. The page is transformed, the grey being lit with a soft yellow light, and blue and green. "Smile," demands the snake. The princess smiles again, wider, deeper, with more meaning. And upon the page flowers bloom. Paths stretch and curl, trees press into being, and the fountain begins to bubble and tumble. It is so magical, and so easy. And the snake says, "Princess, you can fill your life with anything you desire. You can have flowers brighter than you could imagine, and more colourful. Your paths can lead all ways and forever. The trees in your garden can be the strongest and the most trustworthy. And the fountain can blossom. It can pour water, honey. It can pour milk and even gold." The princess blinks in amazement. All this is surely special. It is magnificent. And she is happy with what the snake has shown her. The princess is happy with knowledge. And the snake is happy too, and happier. The snake is drunk with success. You see, this is the oldest truth in the book, and it happened somewhere near here.